Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Been here from EWPRO. So, starting with the DXY, we got the 5 down. We got a WXY up here, and we're in an X2, and we possibly will get this Z up. Now, we do have bullish hidden divergence here. It's not tradable as hidden divergence yet. It's not valid. So, yeah. If we go down to the H4, we can see that we've completed a structure already, corrective structure with this 333. So we've got that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we got the 333 structure already as a corrective structure. And we just have this one wave move down on the H4. I dare say we will keep on going down and possibly break. To invalidate that bull hidden on the daily, we need to break this low. And I dare say that's what we're going to do. We're going to go down here, break that low, and then we're going to get a correction in here for more downside. If we have a look on the weekly, if we have a look on the weekly, we still can go down to this 100 fib here and break this low, this red line. At least break that low. So it definitely is possible that we still got more downside. And it's looking that way because the bull hidden on the daily isn't confirmed. So on the H1, we did get a larger correction in here. This is a larger correction, and we're getting more downside. So why this trend line here holds, you can look for downside. On the AU, we got the 100 fibs right up here, so we're nowhere near that 100 fib. Like I've been saying, we got a trend line break, but this is looking corrective, like this was looking corrective. So we sort of can start looking at this as a flat, as 1, 2, 3 up, and we got that A, B, C for more upside, possibly up to this 100 fib. On the H4, we had an ABC down. I sort of was looking for another one down, as this can turn into a flat in here for an A, B, C in here. But looking at price action, we got this, I should have put this on here actually. We got a W, X, Y, X, Z. So I'm looking for a Z up. If you go down to the H1, it's actually on the H1 as well. I'll remove that. I've already got it on the H1, so we're looking for this W, X, Y, X2, and then a Z up. These are your targets here, 161.8 and the 123.6. This is looking like it's just about ready. We've got the breakout. Got a little flag in here. So you can look to take this. It may not be ready because in this one here, we got a W, X, Y, X, Z in here. So this may turn out to be a flat in here for one more down for A, B, C in here. Finish off that X2, and then we get that Z up. So any bullish setup you get, I'd be looking for the buy. EU on the daily, we never got anywhere near that 100 fib. like I've been saying, this is looking corrective. It's not looking impulsive. So more than likely we'll get more upside. At this stage we've just got a WXY. Again, we have possible bear hidden here. But again, it's not valid to trade as bear hidden. It's not giving us, making it valid to trade as bear hidden. So if we go down to the H4, again, we have that 333 structure completing the pattern, a corrective structure. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That completes the structure as a complex correction. Again, we just got one wave up. So I dare say we got to, again, we need to invalidate that bear hidden. And I dare say that's what it's going to do, because we just got one wave up here on the H4. So I dare say we're going to break out of here, then get the correction for more upside. On the H1, again, I'd be very careful buying this at this stage, because we do have, we already have a WXY X, and we're getting the Z up. It's already up to the 123.6, and your second target is at 161.8. So, and we will start to more than likely get bearish divergence. I guess if this trend line here holds, you still can look for the buys, I guess, but it starts to get a bit riskier now that we have the 5 up on the H1. GU on the daily, again, this one we bounced off that 100 fib on the W1, but again, this is looking corrective. It's not impulsive. Like, this was impulsive. This is looking very corrective. So more than likely, like I said the last few weeks, you know, we can start looking at this as a flat, a running flat to go and break the top. If we do break that top, we'd be targeting that 123.6 on the weekly as an expanding flat before we get this downside. H4, we got the Z down on the H4 with bullish divergence. We've broken out of here. So really, you can only look for buys on this. We're getting a correction now. So we can look at this as at least an ABC on the weekly, on the H4, sorry. So if we go down to the H1, we have crossed down on that already. So on the H1, I'm looking at this as a WXY. I was looking at this X2 and then get a Z up. This is looking like a larger correction. So I dare say we just get the WXY. We just get that WXY and then the larger correction, and then another possibly 3 up. So the wave B on the H4 may be in play already. So if you get any bullish setup, you can start looking for the buys. Ideally, you want to wait for a good setup. It's not really giving you a good setup because you got this. So you want to wait for a flat or something like that, an A, B, and then look for the buy. We haven't broken out of this trend line. and this can still give you an A, B, C up and one more down, to give us that bullish divergence to finish off this B wave and then go. So wait for the trend line break, buy setup, and then look for your buy. And you, again, we never hit that 100 fib. Come close to the 100 fib, but didn't hit it. This was looking quite impulsive. It didn't come down to that 100 fib. So more than likely the top will get broken. This one here, sort of, I was looking for this WXY XZ. This has become a lot larger than this one here. So we can rule that count out now. I'll just change it. So I'm looking at this. I better put that on. This wave Y still not over. I'll just remove this. So we got up to this 161.8. This may be internal correction, and the wave Y is not over yet. So we sort of still got to wait. There is a buy setup. You can see this buy setup. Right? There's a buy setup coming up now. So we got a H1 correction in here. See, we do have the bearish divergence on the H1. So that's not the ideal, but we still can be in that wave Y on H4. So if you do get a bullish setup, like this was your little flag in here. There's a little flag, little flat in here. But you probably have missed that. So if you get any little bullish flag, break of this trend line, little bullish flag, you can look for that buy. USD Japanese yen on the daily. We didn't get to that 100 fib. We're getting a sharp move down here. So we can look at this, like I said, last few weeks. We can move this because that's over now. So we've got the cross down. If we go down on the H4, we'll see what we got. I was looking for this extended wave here. It's starting to, it's a too large a correction. It's starting to become too large for that Z up. You still can get that Z up, but it's very unlikely. Like this Z up here. It's becoming very unlikely. So if we go down to the H1, we're starting to get bullish divergence. So my guess is, like, we start to get a larger correction, start to get a H4 correction, and then we can look for the downside. Because we have that bullish divergence. you really need to wait for this H4 correction before you look for sells again, because we have that bullish divergence, and we do have quite a large impulse down. I mean, it's sort of Friday there, it was looking like it was going to break out of this trend, but it's come back. So more than likely, this is a flat here for an A, B, C, and then we get A, B, C for more downside. So if you do get a sell set up here, you can look for it, but you sort of don't want to take the low of that, trade it as a flat and at the break of the low, because we've already got that bullish divergence. So it gets risky doing that when there's already divergence. So I'd be, if you are looking for the short, wait for a little flag or something in here and then look for it. It gives you better risk reward than selling at the bottom. But this is looking like more than likely a flat in here, because it tried to break out of the trend line. It's come back under. So you Sheffy on the daily. I thought I put arrows on here, but maybe not. Anyway, so we've bounced off that 100 fib for this A, B, C. So there's, and we do have X2 on the weekly, so we can look at it as A, B, C as a flat in here. But on the weekly, we got that as possible Z down, so this blow can be broken. And this is looking rather impulsive. So if we look at it H4, again, it's pretty much the same as UY. I was looking for that Z up, but it's gone too far. So really now, you have to wait for that correction. Again, this has given a larger correction in here as well. If we go down to the H1, we got 5 down, and then we got a larger correction, and we've gone and broken that low. So why this trend line holds, you can look for sell. Why this trend line here holds, you can look for sell. Get a little flag, you can look for the sell. You are going to get bullish divergence, though. You know, eventually we will get that larger correction on the H4, a H4 correction before we get more downside. It gets risky trying to sell at lows. So really want to wait for that H4 correction. That's the safest option now. You know, if you do get a buy set up, you can probably look for it, well, wherever it starts. Like, you know, if you get a little buy set up, well, you know, you probably get 5 up, then 3 down, and then another 5 up for your H4 correction. But yeah, it's getting risky to sell. On the daily, I dare say we will get that flat and break the low, but you know, this was your trade up here. Yeah, for the short, it's getting riskier to sell down here. You need to wait for that H4 correction. On the CAD, so again, we're nowhere near that 100 fib. On the H4, this is where it starts to get. Again, on the H1, on the daily, sorry, we sort of haven't broken out of this trend line. This was looking rather corrective last week, to go up and break that top for the first target. we did get a, like, this is wrong. A fair while ago, I said, we're looking at this as a flat to go and break that low. But as soon as we got this, we ruled that out. And so I'll just take that off because it's not a flat. We actually got an ABC in here. It did go up and break the top in here. I was looking for like an A, B, C in here. It did go up and break the top, and it just broke the top and then fell over. So I can take that off because that's unlikely to happen now. Your targets, you either would have got break even or what. I've got a little trade in here, but yeah, it just didn't go. So it's looking bearish now. We've completed that ABC with bearish divergence. We've got trend line break in here, sort of starting to get a little bearish correction in here as well. Again, it's very risky to if you're looking for this. I mean, you can trade it. We've completed a larger correction, but yeah, you're trading at a low. Sort of, if I was going to trade this now, I'd be looking at like an A, B, C in here. Get another C up for an A, B, C in here, and then try and wait for a little bearish flag on the lower time frames up here for a flat. You got to try and cut your risk reward. You got to try and get your risk reward right when you're trading it at lows. So that's how I'd sort of be trading it. Wait for this C up, and then any little bear setup you get up here on the lower time frames, then look for that sell for like A, B, C, and go and break that low. This low over here, and possibly even further. But yeah, you got to wait for good setups to get this, because you can sort of see in here, you got a little flat in here for an A, B, C. So more than likely you get an A, B, C up in here. Then look for your sell, and for the larger A, B, C, or WXY, whatever it turns into. More than likely it'll turn in motive. The way we're looking at it, because we've got the larger correction, we've got the H4 correction. So yeah. GY on the daily, we have just crossed down. We're still within this trend. We're still within this uptrend. This may be internal, and we still go up to this 161.8, because we're looking for a correction similar to this, and this is a lot smaller. So again, we're looking at that extended wave. So this one actually might give that Z up, because it's a similar size to this here. So you probably could look for the buy for that Z up. Why this trend line here holds, you can look for more sell. We already have bullish divergence on the H4, on the H1 and the H4, but it's not really giving you. If it does give you a buy setup, you can look for it. Ideally, it gives you a nice impulse out of here, and then gives you a correction or a bullish flag up in here to buy. Ideally, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just give it within the trend line. So if you do get a bullish setup, you can look for it. But you can even look for a sell, because this wave here is still not over. more than likely. We might just have a look on the M15 to see what's going on there. So we sort of got W, X, Y, X. We've already got the Z down. Oh, look at it. We've already got the 5 down with the trend line break. Sort of. Yeah, looks like it's going to give a little flat in here. Like an A. Some sort of little flat in here. You could look for the buy. Wait for this little C down on the lower time frame. I mean, we're already on the M15, so, but yeah, you could look for that. EG on the daily. We just about bounced off that 100 fib. So we're looking for the A, B, C on the H4. We can rule this out. We can start to rule this out now. Looking for this possible flat here. Well, it's come down and it's broken the top. So you can definitely rule that flat out now. So I'll take that off. And as you'll know, I've only been looking for buys. I wasn't looking for these sells. And that's why, you know, we're just about hit that 100 fib. I don't want to be looking for, you know, sells at a low. So I'll remove that. On the H1, it was a messy correction up here. So we got this like an A, B, and a C down as an expanding flat in here. So we're looking for that A, B, C, or at least an A, B, C. More than likely it'll turn motive. It did give a nice little flag in here. That was your buy setup, basically. I mean, the first buy setup a few weeks ago, you'll remember that I took it right down in here for that buy. On the Monday, we got that nice buy in here a few weeks back. I'm out of that trade now. And yeah, we got a nice little buy setup in here. So if you get any little buy setups, any little flags like this, you can look for that buy. Up to the 100 fib. You know, at least up to, like, that's your first target, the 100 fib, and then your 161.8 as your second target. UY. Nearly got up to that 100 fib. And we have that bearish divergence. Like I said, been saying, I'm only looking for the short on this one. Last week, I was looking at this triangle. Triangle never broke. And I wasn't, like I said, I'm only looking for the sells. So, you know, but we've got all this bearish divergence now. Is this over? May not be over. It's very choppy. Like I said last week, I was looking for that A, B, C with the triangle with an A, B, C, D, E, and then break out of here. We never got the breakout, so you should have never got into that trade anyway. But now you can see that we got this A, B, C in here, and then an A, B, C breaking that top. So this can be over. Sort of got an A, B, C in here as well. So, you know, is this some sort of a larger structure in here? Well, that's possible. to go up and break that top, an A, B, C, but I'm only looking for sells. I'm not looking for the buys. So if you are looking for buys, you need to look for those bullish flags. You can look for it because you do have this correction. You have this A, B, C down with bullish divergence. So if you do get bullish flags, there's no reason why you can't take them. I'll be leaving them alone and just waiting for, the sell setups. I'm only interested in the sell. But if you get buy setups and you want to scalp, well, that's entirely up to you. With the gold on the daily, so nothing's changed. We got this WXY, and we're looking for this X2 and then a Z down. Like I said, this is probably going to be choppy for a long time, and we can get back up to this trend line, top trend line. Go down to H4. The reason I was looking at this as a flat, like I said a few weeks back, this was so deep. This B wave was so deep. It didn't break this low, but it was very deep. So usually when these happen, they turn into flats. You get that A, B, and a C down. We still don't have any bearish divergence in here. So, we don't have any bearish divergence. So we're getting that 5 up to end that C, and then more than likely we'll go down, break the low again. It's tricky, this one. On the H1, we got the 5 up after the larger correction. So we got the WXY, XZ. Now we've got an ABC, or there's no divergence, no bullish divergence, so this may not be over. Yeah, so if you do get a little sell setup in here, you can look for that sell and look at that as the end of wave C, and you may get that falling over. But again, this was very deep. This correction in here was very deep, so it makes it very hard because this can be just a flat for more upside. So you have to be very careful. You have to have a really nice setup to sell it or even buy it, because we have that bullish divergence now too. So, yeah. WTI on the daily, we bounced off that 100 fib. We're still in the uptrend. So we're still in this uptrend, and we have that bearish divergence. So I am looking for this like A, B, C at least, So more than likely it's going to look something like this by the look of what its price action is doing, before we get any more upside. So sort of looking for that C down. I'll put that on there. So we're looking for this A, B, C. Like I've been saying for ages, just hasn't gone. Yeah, see on the H1. I'll remove this. Because we sort of got the so we got this like A, B. So we got this like A, B, C in here. A, B, C in here for the A, B, C. So I'm looking for that A, B, C, and we're getting a nice sell set up in here. So definitely look for this. This is what I'll be looking for Monday for sure. If I get this sell set up, be looking for at least 100 fib in the C wave. I can't really draw the 100 fib because this may not be over yet. So what I'll be looking for is like more than likely this is a little flat in here on the lower time frame. We're looking for some sort of a sell setup to sell for the A, B, C. This is looking quite good because we do have that bearish divergence. We have the 5 up on the H1 and we have the bearish divergence. We got a breakdown and we're getting this correction. So look for that sell. I'll be looking for that sell Monday. On Bitcoin, we finally got, well, I think last week we just crossed down last week. We're looking for this like WXY. We're looking for this X2 down to this, like I've been saying, down to your first target is at 38.2. It looks like it fell over nicely. This was sort of your trade up here. This was your trade up here. We just got one down. So you pretty much have to wait for the correction now. So you want to wait for this correction on your H4 and then look for more downside. Just go down to the H1. Yeah, see, we're getting that bullish divergence on the H1. So it starts to get risky. But why this trend line here holds, why this trend line here holds, you can look for shorts, if you get some sort of a sell set up, you can look for it, but you are getting that bullish divergence. Safest way is to wait for that larger correction, up to that 50 fib, and then look for the sell again. SPX. So we're nowhere near that 100 fib yet. Eventually, I'm looking for this. I'm looking for this ABC. We're getting a lot of bearish divergence. So eventually we will get this ABC back to the 150 fib on the daily. On the H4, looking for this. We're up at the 123.6 in this wave Y. It sort of bounced off that. This here can be internal, and we go up to this 161.8 in the wave Y, and then get the X, and then we get that Z up. If we have a look on the H1, yeah, because this doesn't look like a big enough correction. Looking for a correction similar size to this in here. So really, so I think I was looking for a sell in here, but it never broke. I was looking for that, like a larger, like the A, B, C, back to this 38.2, and then give us a buy setup. It didn't do that. So it can be like an A, B, C in here for the A, B, C, and then look for the buy. It's going to be hard to buy it up here because you will start to get all that bearish divergence. Yeah, this was tricky because we got this sharp move down here. I was actually looking. for the buy up here. During the week, you know, before this news, it probably would have got everyone in on this little flat here, and then it fell over, and now it's gone straight back up. I was actually looking for a sell in here, for that like A, B, C. So it's getting pretty hard. It's very choppy. Wait for a structure on it to trade. I'd be waiting now for this C down for an A, B, C, and then look for a buy setup if I was going to look for the buy up this high. I'd be more interested in a sell, but it's not giving itself set up. The DAX on the daily, so we aren't at that 100 fib yet. It's crawling up very slowly. We've got all that bearish divergence. We've got the WXY. So we're looking for that X2. So we got the WXY, XZ. This may be the flat in here. And the Z goes from here. Possibly have to wait to see what we're getting on the H1. Yeah, see, sort of we got this. We got the bearish divergence. So we got an A, B, C in here. More than likely get an A, B, C, and then finish off that X2 and then the Z. Looks like you're getting a bullish setup here now. More than likely, it's just a correction. You got an A, B, C. You're breaking out of here. So if you get a little flag, you can look for that buy in the B wave. Well, the internal C in the B wave, and then look for that C down. That's how I'd be trading it at this stage if I was looking to scalp. Footy. So H1 daily. So I'm looking at an A, B, C. On the H4. It didn't quite get to that 100 fib. This would have been your target. Like once we identified that, this was your target, that 100 fib. You definitely would be looking to get, if you're not out, you'd be wanting to get out on this correction here. You'd be looking to get out of that buy, in this correction here, because we didn't hit that 100 fib. On the H1, yeah, see, we got that Z up. We got that Z up. We get an A, B, C. Look for that C, and it may even turn into a Y, and you may even get a motive structure. So I'd be looking for that sell. So that can be the end of the wave B as well on the daily. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this weekly outlook. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you got something out of it, and I'll see you out there next week. Bye.